Morning, it's the 30th of July. I don't know why they're headed, but they're on the same path, aren't they? But anyway, yeah, it's the 30th of July. What happened to July? It just flew straight by, didn't it? And to be fair, we haven't nearly finished harvest, but Christ, we've knocked its end in. We've got 50 acre of wheat at Wilberforce. We've got 5 acre to clean up at another farm at Burnby. We just couldn't be bothered to fill it last night to a little 5 acre. And so we should get them two mopped up today, or a big chunk of it anyway, as long as we've got no calamities. And then we've got some spring oats and spring barley which aren't really fit. So we'll have to go sort of be a bit patient and go back to them. Yeah, not usually at this time of year, wheat's coming out at corn store door and we're struggling where to put it, but it's very, very disappointing. It just ain't grown out of its nitrogen, I don't think. I think what with dry weather and evaporating nitrogen, is there any advantage? Tell me. Is there any advantage of liquid nitrogen over prill nitrogen for evaporation or for getting it used, or is there other ways of getting nitrogen into the plant in dry weather so it gets utilised rather than evaporates? I don't know, but anyway. Ollie's had quite major problems with Baler, but they came yesterday and sorted it out. Well, Gary came late one night. Gary did, and he diagnosed it, and it turned out to be ECU. So he brought an ECU off another one yesterday, and we were up and running. He had a ripe day yesterday. I don't know how many bales he did, but a lot of acreage yesterday did our Ollie. She's done really well as odd Baler, to be fair. Took 10th first. Right, we better get some straw lead and stuff done. It's got a different feel to it this morning, a little bit of a back end feel. Yeah, it's like, ooh, we should put a sweatshirt on or go find a coat, because it's got a little bit of a nipping air. Mark's here from Big Bale Services. Gary came last night. We had problems with our baler with pressure. Anyway, it turned out to be ECU. We're getting no pressure in the bales. Anyway, it turned out it was the ECU. And boss man Gary came last night and sort of diagnosed that fault. And Mark's come this morning with an ECU off one at Baler's in yards until ours gets fixed. So yeah, he's going great guns now. Have you seen number plate Hesston? And Gary's on his van is even better. His is HE55 TON. So yeah, that's class, isn't it? Yeah. Couple of life's heroes. Yeah, they look after us. Well, they look after everybody in the area with Hesston Balers. Brilliant firm, absolutely brilliant firm. Big Bale Services, just outside Doncaster. Yeah, Gary. What we like about Gary and Mark though, they'll help you on phone. He'll try and diagnose it on phone because he's that busy anyway. And he turned up at 8:30 last night and he left here at 9:30. You know, so he's making an early start. It's only 10 o'clock. I told him to go mop some barley up before we go for some wheat before we flit to another farm to start some wheat on heavy land, because there's a chance of showers. And this is looking like it's going to be a fantastic wheat. The grain's a lot bolder, but we've got two different varieties in here. We've got Champion and we've got Cranium. So Cranium's here, obviously a lot shorter straw, And the grain on the cranium is very small, wizened up, and the grain on the champion is a lot bolder stuff. So I don't know. I think we're going to knock the cranium on the head. I really do. It's done fantastic for us in the past, but it's just run out of steam. This champion just seems to suit what's going on. Yeah, this is looking like this is going to be a right trailer filler. But we've been very disappointed with a lot of our other ones, what we thought of being promising, but we're having a lot of bother with either deer or badger, we don't know which. This type of bloody going on. All of it spot. And yeah, we'll have to cull some deer, I'm afraid, this back end. In our area this morning, Phil's over there cutting some spring barley out leading bales. Sexy Fingers is that way. Hesston Baler, our neighbour Ed, he's over here with his round, his coon round baler off Lake Help. So yeah, there'll be some bloody harvesting getting done today, and we sort of a bit of a change at end of week, but I think by end of week we'll have knocked a big chunk in, we'll have knocked its end in. That time of year again, getting ready for next year. Let's hope next year's a better one, because Christ, our harvest disastrous this year. We've got into some spring barley and it's bloody crap. Barely doing 2 ton, and yeah, it's a shocker really. The drought took more effect than we first thought. So yeah, we'll put this one down to experience, I think. But yeah, just getting this ready, just round up in it off. There's a bit of moisture coming tomorrow. Oh well, there's a bit of rain coming tomorrow, and we're going to put these two in with rain, but that one's still got a bit of barley stood up in it, which isn't ready. But we're going to try and get this as early as possible, and then that'll have to wait and take its chance with the fleet beetle. But I've had a look at various volunteers here and there, and you know, volunteers in crops and stubble and cover crops and not cover crops and game strips. There doesn't seem to be a lot of pressure, but we'll see. Got some exciting times with my old sprayer, and I know I can hear you say it, and I've said it before, when you're spending money on this old last one. Oh, it's brilliant, it's a real good sprayer. I know I keep harping on about my old sprayer, but there's nothing wrong with the thing. Anyway, we got approached by Sweavercam, the GPS firm, which we dealt with anyway, and we've got a system. They want to put a steering wheel system in here with auto shut-offs on the back for me to try and see what I think of it, and it turned up yesterday, so exciting times. But we're retrofitting it to this, and when we do eventually supersede it or modernise it, we can soon put that bank of shut-offs on the back of the other sprayer, and the steering wheel system and the screen, if you know what I'm saying. But all we've got at the moment is this, and it's been brilliant to be honest. I bought it off a mate of mine, and it's just a simple prehistoric light bar garden system, and it just tells you where to drive, but it doesn't drive for you. And it's been brilliant. But this other thing is hopefully going to supersede the job. So right, I've got to do something else now. I'll round this off, just give it 2.5 litres of glyphosate with a bit of wet to it to try and make it work a little bit better, and hopefully in 48 hours we'll get it drilled with rain. the best till last. We've just come into this 5 acre and it's unbelievable crop. What we've done different in here, I do not know. It's had muck 3 years on trot though, so that's probably made a massive difference. And yeah, it's real bold grain and oh, beautiful it is. If all of our wheat had been like this, it'd be flooding out at shed front.
How many acres is left to cut?
We've got 50 acre where we're off this afternoon, and then there's.
That's it for wheat, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's it for wheat. And then we've got a little bit of spring barley, what isn't fit, and then we've got 3 fields of oats here. What we've got, 25 acre, 35, about 40 acre of spring oats, and we're done, and they aren't ready yet. But this is a right crop.
I've never known wheat finished in July.
No. What were we doing last time? Phil looks at his photos, what he's taken a year on, last year on now, and we were cutting rape.
We were starting because
yeah, so our 2 seasons can be so different. I mean, that tropical weather in May and June just brought things forward, and harvest seems to have got started and is nearly finished.
10th of August was wheat last year.
What, when we started?
Yeah.
It's 30th of July today, so we're a fortnight in front of ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
But this is just, it just looks like you could nearly walk on it. It's one of them crops. The only trouble is it's 5 acre. The biggest problem we're going to have, which isn't a big problem really, is it won't all go in our big trailer. I'll have to go flee back and come back for probably his last tank full. If Doug can remember this field. Can you remember this field? This is the field about 3 years ago when we chopped all the edge back, and we had a bloody great blazing fire going over there, and Phil chucked a stick in, and little Minnie thought it was a game and followed it in and actually got in among embers, and yeah, she wasn't long in there, but she burnt her feet like.
Don't go near a fire now.
Didn't you, Minnie? Dear little girl. Hey, you little bite bastard.
Did it bite you?
Yeah, it fucking did.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. It didn't really. Yeah, his dog bit me.
You know the bite?
It just sort of showed its teeth and grabbed me. But there, look. So yeah.
Did it honestly bite you?
Yeah, it did there. No, it was like here, I'm warning you.
It's never done that before.
Into our last block of wheat. There's 45 acres to cut here, and to be honest, I've walked in it, and it looks pretty good. There's some thin in the far field where it was a lot wetter when we drilled it, but these 2 little 10 acres look pretty promising. But this is, I think, with winter barley next year. We're going to give it. It hasn't been winter barley for a lot of years. Get it drilled fairly early, get it established before it gets wet. Well, fairly early, 2nd to 3rd week in September. I thought I knew about everything of our farm, but I've just found a damson tree. down at some land at Wilberforce. Well, what we call Wilberforce, but to be fair, it's closer to Boundary Moor. But anyway, and there's a damson tree. And bloody hell, they're beautiful, they are. But they're real high. I can't really get to them. I'm eating ones what have fallen on the floor. In fact, I've just heard one drop then. And also, there's loads of brambles. In fact, there's loads of brambles this year, isn't there? But who goes picking brambles? That generation's gone. And even there's elderberries here. You can make some elderberry wine. But yeah, the days of foraging have about gone, aren't they? But these damsons are beautiful. People have never been hungry, have they? Oh, there's something in the bushes. Where is it? Oh, yeah, see, come out. Oh, people have never been hungry, have they? I bet in the war there won't many bloody brambles kicking about because they'll have all been foraged. There's something in there. Bit of pheasant or something. Yeah, look, brambles. Not, actually that's real sweet, but not usually a fan. That's really nice. Easy to go to Aldi, isn't it? Oh, the floor's littered in these damsons. Absolutely littered in them. Hey, come here. Get bloody run over. It's got no road sense whatsoever, that thing. Yeah, look at it. On the floor. Well, that's a good sign. Lights are on and he's been round a 10 acre and there was very, very little down that side because of rabbit damage. The on end was flooded, so the rest of it must have been pretty good. So the job's a good one. Maybe finishing on another couple of good ones. Last job of Saturday afternoon. I'm knocking off fairly early, to be fair. He's just put a bit of metal on this. Diesel are up, grease are up, and we're moving it to the far side of the farm where, because Matt's watering his taters again, so, and he's got some alloy pipes across the track, so I'll abandon it over there and hopefully Monday, Tuesday we'll get a big lump of land worked up with a. We've ordered 4 DD rings. Strangely, the outside ones have got very thin, so we ordered 4 DD rings and some more wearing metal because it's hard down there, to be fair, and you can see the difference with a new point and an old point. These points are just held on by roll pins. has disappeared. I don't know where it's gone. Must have shot off. But I've got a pack of new ones here. Our legs are getting very warm. I think we'll have to replace them this time. Simple as that. Simple as that. And they're very slack when you first put them on. But as soon as you get a lot of muck around them, soil around them, they come tight. We get our wearing metal off a company called Pananglia. Their metal's very hard. I mean, we did an experiment. We had, it was on this machine actually. We had some points from another company. I'm going to mention no names. And the Pananglia's wearing metal lasted twice as long, and that's God's honest truth. It was bizarre. So if you think you're saving a few quid, you maybe aren't in the long run. Yeah, and he's a lad. Our salesman's real good and all helpful. He ain't bothered if it's a little order or a big order or whatever, and he'll do your homework for you. He's a fella called Paul from Pananglia. So if you want some wearing metal, I'll go on Pananglia's website and you'll see what they've got. They've got oodles of stuff. But I'll put Paul's number on screen. If you want some wearing metal or you need a new company for that type of stuff, give him a shout, because he does look after us like. So right, I'll get this down there and call it Saturday tea. That's another marvellous Milwaukee thing. I think most people have one of them now. We've got two. One needs a bit of a service. It's getting a bit cankered up. But there, yeah, absolutely mega machines are them. So, right, on that note, I'm dropping this off. My good lady wife's picking me up, dropping me off to pick a corn trailer up and move Phil back home with combine. And that's it, Saturday tea time. So, from a rough hard farm in East Yorkshire, nearly harvested up. Bye for now.